Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Seftimor Podcast. Tonight, my favorite piece of tech. Once again, for the people listening on podcast audio version, gonna have some visuals, have the blog post and the actual product, which I have in my hand here. So I recommend watching on YouTube, but I appreciate listening, watching anywhere. So now that that's out of the way, today is a review of my favorite piece of tech of 2018. A review on it on Seftimor Live. It's this little guy right here, which are TicPods, free from Mobvoi. TicPods are a AirPod from like the Apple AirPod clone for Android. I always wanted AirPods for Android, so I'm going to show you real quick. This is the case which charges it, which is awesome. This is the inside, which houses the TicPods. And then, just like an AirPod, they sit inside your ear, which I'll get into in the review. And they sit in just like that. And you could use the stem to hold for Google Assistant. You could hit this one to play and pause, and you have your volume controls and down stem. And then I will show you take these out as a pretty cool feature. So let me switch my scene here quick, and then we'll get into the review. So TicPods were always something I've been hoping to come to Android for a long time. Used to be a huge Apple fan. When I got my hands on the iPhone 6 Plus, I looked at my phone. After a week, decided it was time for a change. Enter my Android obsession. For the past several years, I've been an Android enthusiast. I still follow Apple because I still believe they are the leaders in this mobile tech space. A product they put out a few years ago were AirPods. First, thought they were gimmicky. They were Apple's signature earbuds just without the cord. Then I started watching reviews. I realized the AirPods were one of the best inventions Apple had produced in years. Going to Apple's website, I actually sat here, it was Christmas last year, and decided, even though I had an Android phone, I would buy the AirPods to use just for the aesthetics, and that I like the earbuds, not having a cord, and after seeing the review, I really just wanted them for the aesthetics and the compact use to use at work or when walking. But the reason I never pulled the trigger was they didn't work with voice assistants other than Siri. The in-ear detection was gone, and you lost a bunch of features, so I never pulled the trigger. Enter the TicPods free. I had been watching Mobvoi for a while. They're ex-Google employees that started their own company. The reason they were on my radar is that I had been searching for a new Android Wear watch, and every single chart that I saw, their TicWatch E and Pro were like 1 and 2 on every single chart for Wear OS smartwatch. So this got me interested in the company and watching for when they released a new watch. The Snapdragon, I believe it's 3100 just came out. 2100 is what all the old watches have, so I'm waiting for a 3100 before I pull the trigger on a new smartwatch. Mobvoi and the TicWatch have the old processor in it, so I'm waiting for it. But in the meantime, I see Mobvoi advertise an Indiegogo campaign for the TicPods free. An AirPod clone with built-in technology to run Google Assistant, which is my assistant app of choice using a Pixel. I was intrigued, so once they released on Amazon, I scooped up a pair. As I said before, I picked these up on Amazon. They were priced at $129, making them around $30 cheaper than Apple AirPods. The savings on the TicPods versus the AirPods isn't drastic, but the functionality is. With the TicPods, you can use any assistant that you prefer. Alexa, Siri, Google. They also have active noise cancellation and isolation. So the cool thing about it is that, like I said, I think it is the right ear TicPod here. You would just hold and it'll trigger your Google Assistant, or you can use with Alexa or Siri. The TicPods are going to have a lot of comparisons to the AirPods, but the first difference is the TicPods are larger. So the stem's a little bigger and they jut out a little bit more because of how they go into your ear. but the pods fit comfortably in my ears. I could not get them to shake out no matter what I did. A problem I ran into was the silicone tips that came installed out of the box. The size of them were hurting my ears and making the sound tinny, kind of like you had to push in more to get, once you push them in, you're like, okay, that sounds right. You take your finger off and it sounded tinny. So once I swapped out the tips for the smaller ones, the seal was comfortable and the sound is excellent. I swapped it out for the smaller one, which is weird because I thought that I had pretty big ears, but I guess I was wrong. And once I swapped that out and put it in, everything was great. The TicPods have a stem that jut out from the buds that I showed you before. With the press or a swipe, you control your volume. You can pause or play, skip a track, or fire up whatever assistant service that you use. The stems that are on the TicPods are long. I would tell you to check out some reviews if you didn't like the look. Show you here again. They're pretty long, but nothing crazy. And like I said, for the functionality and the compact, it's definitely not bad at all. I liked it. I love the look. But I would tell you to check out some reviews if you like the look. If you're a fan of the style of Apple AirPods, then the TicPods won't bother you at all. I love the look of both personally, so I didn't mind when I picked them up. One of the coolest features of the AirPods is this charging case. The TicPods have a similar case. Or I'm sorry, one of the coolest features of the AirPods is the charging case, and the TicPods have a similar case where you place your buds in and the case charges them. The case has a snap lid and the green LED lights that light up, as you can see here. And it lets you know that your pods are charging. The TicPods come with an IPX5 water resistant rating. You won't have to worry about sweat or rain or damaging your headphones. The headphones come in 3 colors, dark blue, red, or white. I opted for the blue, as you can see here, because I'm a fan of all things dark mode. Matte black would have been my option of choice, but I take what I can get. Also, the white is the closest you can get to an AirPods clone if you're into that. TicPods allow you to pair them with your system of choice. In my experience with them, the functionality works flawlessly. I was also happy with the Bluetooth connectivity. When I got my TicPods, the first thing I tried was calling a few people to test the microphone. Being that the pods have the stem that is away from your mouth, so it's just jutting out of your ear a little bit, so the microphone is all the way, up from where your mouth is. I was curious about the call quality. After talking to 5 different people on them, they all said the same thing. It sounded great. The call quality was crisp and clear. The only criticism I had was when doing things while on the call, being that the mic is so far away, the TicPods pick up anything you're doing that is loud. I was wrapping a few gifts for a birthday while on call, and my friend said he could hear the crackling of the wrapping paper. So since they're so far away from your mouth, they do pick up a lot of things. So if you're cooking or banging pots or pans, or just in my case, like wrapping paper or something like that, they'll really hear what you're doing coming through there. The gestures on the stems of the TicPods are great. I had no issue using any of them while on the go. My favorite feature by far on them is the in-ear detection. So the TicPods will pause any audio or video playback when they detect a pod has been removed from your ear. They will resume playback once inserted back into your ears. So this was the biggest selling point for me, and one of the reasons I didn't pick up the AirPods. Was when I'm at work, I don't want to be messing around with taking my phone in and out of my pocket or with the cord, hence why these are cordless. I take one of the TicPods out and it pauses the podcast. Once I'm ready to resume, I pop one back in and continues the playback. If there's a con with the TicPods, it would be audio quality. I want them for work or when I am out running or walking. For these circumstances, they are perfect. For times I want better audio at the gym, I still use my Jaybirds. The audio quality isn't bad by any means, but I would be lying if I told you there weren't better options out there for more audiophile people. I wanted them to be able to kind of hear my surroundings a little bit, because if I'm running or walking the dog or I'm at work, I need to hear my surroundings a little bit. So I didn't want that total noise cancellation. So that's why I opted for these, because before these I was using the Apple earbuds because I just like the fit and they weren't total noise cancellation. So once I got these, for those reasons is the reason why I bought them. So I could wear them while at work or running and still be aware of my surroundings a little bit. One charge out of the case for me lasted about 3.5 hours. The great part is the case offers about 5 charges from 0 to full, which gives you 15 to 20 hours of playback time if you're on the go. Even better, the case offers fast wireless charge or fast wire charge, which will take you from 0 to 100 in only 40 minutes. TicPods free from Mobvoi is everything I ever wanted in an AirPod clone with Android support. They are cheaper than AirPods and for me offer more functionality. Audio quality, although not the best, was fantastic for my needs. If you're in the market for AirPods but want something that will work with Google Assistant and Android, you can't go wrong with the TicPods. They are comfortable and compact. TicPods are my favorite headphone right now, and I highly recommend them, and it's my favorite tech of 2018. I love them. I can't leave home without them now. I'll be looking forward to more products from Mobvoi, including the new smartwatch once they update processors in them. Another cool thing before I end this podcast here is that I really like that you could use like the left or right. You don't need both in to get playback. So if you're around the house, I find when cleaning, if you need to hear something or, for me, the baby's in the other room or your wife needs you, you just pop one in, you could throw on a podcast and go about cleaning, which is a feature that I really like. I actually did that like a bunch of times already. So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone for watching. If you want to get your TicPods free, I'll leave a link in the description. It will be an affiliate link, so it does support me, and I appreciate it if you use that link. It supports the podcast and it helps me out. Also, if you buy anything from Amazon for these holidays, you can also use that link. Same thing. It helps me out in the podcast. Thank you everyone for reading. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for listening. If you want to follow me anywhere that I create on, Medium, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Mixer, the podcast, or on Facebook is all at Seftimor. So links in the description as well if you want to follow me anywhere on there. Thank you everyone, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace.